and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, for a full Barça news roundup on the way, as we will have the very latest from pre-season under Hansi Flick. We've also got plenty of transfer updates as well on Nico Williams, Dani Olmo discussed in today's video, and also the latest on Ilkay Gundogan's future, and plenty more coming up for you today. Sit back, relax and enjoy, and let's do this. But I do want to kick off today's video, guys, with some of the absolutely fantastic photos that we got yesterday from the club, because Hansi Flick, Gavi, Pedri and Lamine Yamal all switched out their training gear for hard hats and high visibility jackets, because they there, alongside Laporto and Deco, went out to check on the building work at the very brand new Spotify Camp Nou, which I have to say right now is progressing well in terms of the build. We are starting to see things taking shape a bit now, more recognisable to the iconic stadium that we all know. But I do have to say, I don't think we can really put our trust in Pedri and Yamal on the construction side, because Pedri posted there on Instagram that it's clear that in this line of work we would not make a living, and Lamine replied 100% confirmed. So they're going to keep their efforts there focused on the pitch rather than off it. But of course here, with the new stadium, we are still not going to be there for the start of the new season. Potentially there we're going to be a few months away from getting things open and underway. There is still no concrete date from the club exactly when we're going to return to the new stadium, so we've got to use a bit of guesswork here and investigative journalism. Because as you can see right here on the club's website, they are only selling tickets right now for home Barça games at Montjuic until the beginning of December. There are no more home games on sale as of right now. Barça Las Palmas on the 1st of December, that's the final game that you can buy tickets for at Montjuic, so it's possible there that Barça could be targeting the final games before the Christmas break there. Potentially Barça versus Atleti on the 22nd of December to be our first game back at the new Spotify Camp Nou, and I cannot wait to be back home. But speaking though about Lamine Yamal, indeed he has had a very, very busy few days, a busy few weeks really for the young man. I'm sure actually that it still hasn't quite hit him yet what he's achieved, you know, the way that he's done all of this here, and the reaction from the entire footballing world on his tournament at the Euros this summer. And perhaps with all of this in mind there, the physical toll that can take, the mental toll in the end, Lamine Yamal will not travel with Barça for the USA tour this pre-season. That's also the case there for all of his Spanish teammates too. They will not travel for that pre-season tour, because Hansi Flick here has decided that the most important thing for them after a really tough, really long season, both physically and mentally, they need time to rest. They need to go away on holiday. They need time to reset and come back there ready to tackle a new season. And we're going to see them back at the club apparently within the first week or so of August now. That's when Yamal and his Spanish teammates will return. But when Yamal does return to a Barca shirt, he will be wearing a new number in the coming season. There have been plenty of rumours that it could be the famous number 10 shirt at the club, and all of the responsibility and the pressure that comes with that shirt. Would it have been too soon for Yamal? Well, he has made the decision himself to wear the number 19 shirt at the club. And I've got to say, guys, the same number there, of course, that he wore at Euro 2024. Of course, it is a number that has been occupied in the past too by Lionel Messi. And I feel as though this is a much better step there. His first team number at the club, number 19, it's a better step there than just launching him into that number 10 shirt. With everything that he's gone through this summer, that everything that he's going through right now, all of that media spotlight, there's no need to make it even bigger, to put even more pressure upon his shoulders there with a shirt number. So I think here, great decision from Yamal. He's already got a connection with that shirt number because of the Euros, and now he'll be bringing all of that to a Barca shirt. One man, though, who has been in action over the past few days here in pre-season at Barca is Pablo Torre. Now, there was some breaking news yesterday that Pablo Torre underwent immediate surgery for a fracture that he suffered in training on Tuesday. And I know when we all saw this, you thought, what on earth is happening? Genuinely, guys, we have not even started our matches in pre-season, and it's injury after injury. What is going on? A fracture. Now, luckily, he has only fractured a bone in his hand. You know, I say only. It was during a collision in yesterday's training session. Now, following that surgery and a bit of rest and recovery time, luckily, he should be back quite soon. It's not really a serious problem as it first seemed. But the word had it, and this is interesting right here, word had it that Hansi Flick has actually been so impressed with Pablo Torre in the early stages of pre-season that he was the one that said, we need immediate surgery on that hand. Get that done. Get it done as quickly as possible because I want you to be back in time for that USA tour. Hansi Flick really does want to see more of Pablo Torre. He's impressed him, and it's a massive opportunity here for Pablo Torre. You know, he went away on loan last season to Girona, didn't really get the kind of football that we were hoping for, didn't really get the kind of opportunities that he needed to have. He's looking to take those now here early on in pre-season. He seems to have been impressing Flick, and let's hope that we can see him back there, fully recovered, very soon. But speaking there, guys, about pre-season, and speaking about some big news breaking today, well, Barça have a new member of staff, and this is one that I think we all saw coming. Thiago Alcantara has officially joined up with Hansi Flick's coaching staff there, and what we're hearing right now is that he will spend the summer at the club there. We're not really sure about the plans beyond that. He is still in the process of training to become a coach. So he's sort of been added here to Hansi Flick's staff for a number of reasons. One of those going to be he is going to help with the communication. He's an excellent addition there in terms of speaking Spanish, some German, some English as well. So Thiago, very, very helpful for Flick to have around. And of course, he's got experience of this club. So he's going to be part there of the USA tour this summer. He is going to accompany Flick. And I think it's a really good addition. It's nice to see him back around the club. It was so sad that his career really had to be cut short due to injury, but he is right here, back where it all started for him, at Barça, and I think he will be very helpful for us, and especially the young players too. However, guys, the midfield positions at Barça are certainly under the microscope right now, and interestingly, one of our only senior midfielders that we actually have fit and available right now, it is Ilkay Gundogan, and yet there are rumours about his future at the club, and this is not just one report here, not just one source coming out. I'm talking here about several different people in the Catalan media casting doubt over Gundogan's future at the club and what exactly the club want to do with him. Because first of all, according to Sport, Flick and his technical staff at Barca believe that the midfield lacks intensity at the club and they lack the ability to pressure after losing the ball. Hansi Flick sees those as glaring flaws in our midfield and he wants to correct them. But he is not actually convinced that Gundogan fits the right profile of what they need in that midfield in terms of energy, in terms of intensity and pressing as a starter in a Hansi Flick team. Now make of that what you will. We don't know if that's true, we don't know if that's really what Hansi Flick is thinking, but those are the rumours right now. And there's other sources that say that once Gundogan actually returns to the club following his breakaway there after the Euros this summer, Hansi Flick plans to speak with him about what's going to happen this season, about his intentions there, what his feeling may be, if maybe he wasn't going to play as many games, for instance, as he did last season, would he still want to be at the club? Would he still see himself here as a Barcelona player and determined to stay here? Because obviously right now, Gundogan, 33 years old, you know, we knew when we signed him that obviously he is in the latter stages of his career. He's not finished by any means, but of course he is one of the older, more senior players at the club. And I think so far at Barca, I've got to say, he has seemed quite frustrated at times in his first year here, but I think that's more out of the will to succeed though. I don't see him as a player here who regrets coming here, who is unhappy at the club or anything like that. I see him as somebody who's demanding more, wants to be more, sees himself as one of the leading figures in the dressing room, and I don't personally believe here that Gundogan would be open to leaving the club. Even if Flick, for instance, doesn't see him as a starter right now, I think Gundogan would be one of those who'd want to prove himself, who would want to work his way and get back in this team whatever it took. And the feeling from Barca though is that they wouldn't stand in his way. If he was actually open to leaving, if he had offers elsewhere that he'd be willing to take up, apparently we wouldn't be against the idea this summer of letting Ilkay Gundogan go, freeing up the salary. He does have quite a big salary because obviously he joined on a free transfer from Man City, and apparently all of this basically could be in aid of not only signing Nico Williams, but if we let Gundogan go, if we free up more space in that wage bill, could Barca even sign Dani Olmo too? Now, what do you make of that, guys? What do you make there of the fact that, if we let Gundogan go, if we free up more space, maybe there's an opportunity to bring in Dani Olmo along with Nico Williams there? Is it even possible to do a deal this summer for both of those players? Because we're talking here about huge money. Let's not forget that. Obviously, we're going to come on and talk about Nico Williams in just a moment's time. But on the fee for Olmo, there was rumours there of a 60 million release clause. Barca were always going to try and negotiate and try and bring that figure down, but it's still going to be big money. And look, I'm not denying Dani Olmo for Spain this summer was absolutely magnificent. He was one of the players there who was one of their best performers in the team, performed really well in the big moments, thought he linked midfield and attacked very well. And I loved his runs. I loved his energy in that Spain team there. I thought he really helped support Morata. He was constantly making runs in and around the penalty area and giving Spain yet another attacking dimension. But for me, Dani Olmo, even despite all of that quality, he would still remain a luxury signing this summer. You know, looking at the midfield players that we already have here and looking at the other positions at the club that are more important than this one. They just are. You look at the defensive midfield position, that is one. You look at the left wing position, that is another one. So it would be a case here of, if you've done everything this summer, if you've strengthened every possible position, and then you still found money for more, which at Barca is kind of unheard of right now, only then could you maybe be thinking about somebody like Dani Olmo. But I still don't see it happening without a big sale, which doesn't seem to be on the cards. Because let's talk more about Nico Williams right now, because it has been said today that it's going to be such a crucial week in terms of the Nico Williams signing. Apparently Barca are really going to accelerate talks now with the player's agent. There's going to be lots of talk surrounding salary, of course, what the yearly salary is going to be, what the bonuses in that deal are going to be, and most importantly at Barca, as we know, financially, it's all about the structuring of the deal. It's going to be a 5-year deal, but exactly how is that salary going to be spread across those 5 years? It may be lower at first, and then more as it goes on. Those are all the things that need to be discussed and will happen this coming week. And I think it's really important right now, guys, that we do wrap up this deal as soon as we possibly can for two reasons. Number one, just get him in. We want Nico Williams. We want to sign this man, and we also want to beat the Premier League clubs there to his signature. So we must do this as soon as we possibly can. But number two, what we're hearing right now in the media is that Barca are fully prioritising Nico right now. And what that means is they're not actually working on too many other deals. They are solely focusing on getting this deal done, on prioritising this, and they're not really doing that much else. So I think it's really important here that those talks with Nico's camp go well, go smoothly, that we're then looking at that release clause and understanding what it would take to pay it all in one, and we get it done. And then we can move on to other targets as well. And right now, guys, what would you say that your ideal summer would be? You know, what would you think, okay, at the end of the summer, if we bring in this player and this player and this player, then we're challengers. We are definitely competing at the very top of the elite clubs in Europe. What players coming in would make you feel that way, would give you real confidence heading into this new season under Hansi Flick? Because I think when you're looking at it right now, Nico Williams coming in, the potential of Mikel Merino. For instance, guys, if we could do that as a double deal for a combined maybe 80 million euros, that would be very astute business for me. You would be getting in there two players who are looking very good, who also have potential. They're at good ages, they're at good stages of their career, they've got experience as well to fall back on, and I think that would be money well spent. And the wages probably as well wouldn't break the bank on Barca's side. But let me know what your ideal summer would be. What players should we be targeting along with Nico Williams? And do let me know those thoughts down below. I will see you soon with lots more videos coming up. Thank you indeed for all of you tuning in. But until next time, as always, Vejska El Barça.